Today we're going to talk about mean. Okay, that's not people that beat you up. Okay. Median, mode, and range. Okay. Those are the four things that we're going to talk about today. First of all, the mean. Anybody can tell me what the word mean means? Okay, obviously I've said it 3 different ways now. Not talking about people that beat people up. Okay. Talking about people that are mean. Okay, we're not talking about what it means. Okay, we're talking about the word mean in a mathematical sense. Can anybody tell me what that is? See, I didn't use it there. So nobody knows what the mean is. Noah. Well, yes, that would be most words in mathematics. That's not what it is. Okay? All right, let me ask you this then. Obviously, I need to go back down and talk to some of your teachers down there. You don't know what the word mean means. What do you get on a report card? A grade. But is that grade a number or a letter? A number. So what is another word that we use for that grade that's a number? Does anybody remember? It starts with an A. What? Average. Okay. You get an average. Okay. That's what the word mean is. It is the average of a set of numbers. Okay? For example, if we were to take all of y'all's ages in this room. Now, probably there's only a year difference between probably the grades in the ages in this room. Okay? But we could take the ages in this room and find out what the average age of a 6th grader in the United States is. Okay? Average. All right? Now, let me ask you something. If I had a bunch of numbers and they ranged from 10 to 20, okay, just a bunch of numbers and they range from 10 to 20, is there any way that the average of those numbers would be 5? Raise your hand for yes, if you think the average of those numbers could be 5. Raise your hand for no. Raise your hand if you don't really know. Okay? Then you're going to be able to explain why it wouldn't be 5. No, why could it not be 5? Because it is not in the range of 5 or below. Okay. It's below the range of numbers that we have. Okay. But here's what I guarantee you, at least 4 or 5 of you will do in this room. We'll have a test over this, and I'll have numbers from 10 to 30, and somebody will tell me that the average is 330. Now, you laugh, but you will. Okay? So that's why I'm trying to get you to understand what the mean and average is so we don't make careless mistakes like that. Okay? Does anybody know mathematically how we come up with the average? Staley. You add all the numbers together. Uh-huh. Right, that is correct. We add, okay, so how you figure the mean or the average, okay, is you, let me do it this way. Take the sum of the numbers I will really call them more scores than numbers. So we're going to take the sum of the numbers or scores and divide it by the number of numbers or scores. I always use the word scores because realistically, there's a lot of number words up there. Okay, so I just try to take that out of it. But understand that when I say scores, I'm not necessarily talking about, what you did on your last test or your last homework assignment. Okay, what we're talking about is a set of numbers. Okay, now I want you to copy down these numbers. 1, let me raise this up a little bit so I can put these numbers down here. I'm going to change colors. 1, 4, 19, 20, 9, 10, 14. Okay? How many numbers do I have there? 7 numbers. Okay, let me make sure there's 7 in the book here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, I actually copied them down properly. I have 7 numbers there. Okay? Now, the first thing we have to do to find the mean or the average is to add those numbers up. Okay? So, I'm going to take and put them in order. 1, 4, 9, 10, 14, 19, 20. And I'm going to add them. Now, the reason I put them in order is because of something else we're going to use here in a minute. Okay? We have to put them in order for another one of our words up above, and so I went ahead and just took care of that step here. Now, I got to add those numbers up. What do you get, Noah, when you add them up? Huh? No. Did you get it, Jonah? 77. Yeah. When you add them up, you get 77. Okay, now, we're not done. This is where some people stop, and they tell me the average or the mean of those numbers from 1 to 20 is 77. Well, that's impossible. That'd be like saying I took 10 zeros in Coach Smith's class, but yet I have 100 average. Okay, is that possible? No, it's not. Trust me, it's not possible. Okay, so I have to take 77 and divide it by 7. The reason I'm dividing it by 7 is because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. So that 7 is what I'm dividing by. So 77 divided by 7 is what? 11. So the mean is equal to 11. So we add the numbers. That's what the word sum, S-U-M, means. Okay? And then we divide the numbers by the number of scores that we have. Now, does 11 fall between our range of 1 through 20? Yes, it does. So that is a logical answer. Doesn't mean it's the right answer. It just means that it does fit with our numbers. Okay? Any questions over that before I move to the next one? The next one, median. Median is the middle score of the set of numbers. The scores must be in least to greatest order before you find the median. That's why I put those numbers in order just a few minutes ago. Okay? Now, median. Everybody's been on the freeway up there probably at one time or another. Sometimes you're stopped on that freeway. Sometimes you're moving, well, very rarely are you moving fast on that freeway. Okay? They seem to be moving pretty fast on this side right now as I look at it, but the other side obviously is not. But the little thing in the middle of the two sides of the freeway, okay, the one with the little barrier, the cement barrier, we call that a median. Okay, the reason we call it a median is because it's in the middle of the freeway. Okay, so if you ever forget what median means, just remember the middle thing on the freeway. That's the median. Okay, now there are several different ways that you can find the median of your data. Okay, the first way is this. I'm going to relist them in order so I can show you this way. 1, 4, 9, 10, 14, 19, and 20. The easiest way to find the middle number is to do this. And it works when you have a small amount of numbers. Just start marking them out. I marked one out at the first, marked one out at the end. Marked the second one, marked the second one. Mark the third one, mark the third one. There you go. Okay? So the median is equal to 10. Okay? Well, that way is fine and dandy when you have just a small amount of numbers. Okay? And they're odd. You have an odd number of numbers. Okay? So that's pretty easy. Now, let's take that same set of numbers and let's do this. And add 24 to it. Now, that changes things. Let's look at our original problem. I have how many numbers on that side of 10? 3. I have how many numbers on the right side of 10? 3. So it's obviously I have the same amount of numbers on each side, so that has to be the middle number. When I add the extra number here, we do the same thing. We mark these out, and oh no, now we have 2 numbers left. Okay? Well, to figure the median, I simply do this. 10 plus 14. What is 10 plus 14? 24 divided by 2. 12. So that would be the median of this data. Okay? Because what are we trying to find? We're trying to find the middle number, right? Well, if I list my numbers from least to greatest, what is the number in the middle between 10 and 14? What's halfway in between 10 and 14? 12. So that's my middle number. Okay? Now, let's look at another example. Let's say I have the same set of numbers with this exception. Did I add a number to it? Yes, I did. So we have 8 numbers, right? Okay. So here's another way to do this. If I take 8 and divide it by 2, I get what? Okay, 4. So that tells me that my middle number is the 4th and 5th number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here's my middle number. What is halfway in between 10 and 10? Nothing. So our median is 10. Because there is not a number halfway between 10 and 10. Now, if I had the same problem, but I had this, okay, these two are the middle numbers because I have 3 numbers here and I have 3 numbers here. What is halfway between 10 and 11? What? 10.5. So the median here is equal to 10.5. How I get that, if you don't realize it, you just do the same thing we did. 10 plus 11 is 21. 21 divided by 2 is equal to 10.5. So that's your median. Okay? Now, we'll cover another set of data here in a second, and we'll continue to discuss this, but I'm going to go on to the mode. Okay? All right, the mode. The mode is the score that occurs the most times. Okay, the score that occurs the most times. All right, now, what that means is let's say I had this set of data, and they don't have to be in order for this one. If I have 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 9. Joey thought that was funny. All right. So, as you look at that data, which number occurs the most? 9. Because it occurs how many times? Twice. Is there any other numbers that occur twice? Is there any other numbers that occur more than twice? No. So 9 would be your mode. Okay, well, what if I did the same thing, but I had this? One, 2, 4, 6, 6, 8, 9, 9. What would be the mode there? 6 and 9. So the mode here is equal to 6 and 9. Now, if we go back to our original problem down here, the 1, 4, 19, 20, 9, 10, and 14, is there a mode? Is there a number that occurs more than once? No. So the mode here would be equal to no mode. Now, honestly, you can find calculators on Google that do mean, median, mode, and range. Okay? And a lot of times when you get a set of data like we have here, the 1, 4, 9, 10, 14, 19, 20, and then you put it in there and they'll give you the mode as 1, 4, 9, 10, 14, 19, and 20. That's not the mode. Okay, now, if they all occurred twice, in other words, I had 1 and 1, 4 and 4, 9 and 9, 10 and 10, 14, 14, 19, 19, 20 and 20, yeah, then we got issues. You'd have to put all of them as the mode. Okay, but you will notice for the mode, I'm not putting 6 and 6. I'm putting 1, 6. Or I'm not putting 9 and 9, I'm just putting 9. Okay, so don't list all the numbers. If something's used 5 times, don't list it 5 times as the mode. Okay, now the last thing, range. Okay, the range is the, whoa, wow, this screen moved on me and I wrote all over the place. Is the difference between the smallest and largest scores. What's the word difference mean? Yeah, the answer to a subtraction problem. So if I say the range is the difference between the smallest and largest scores, then what that means is this. Range would be equal to 20 minus 1. because the smallest number in our data is 1, the largest number is 20. Okay, and what would be 20 minus 1? 19. So the range is equal to 19. So for this problem, the mean is 11. The mean is 11. The median is 12. The mode is no mode. And the range is 19. So we have 4 answers for this one problem. So on your work tonight, you'll have 4 answers for each problem, and there will be 4 X's for each problem. Okay? So, now let me pull up some more numbers here. Let's look at, let's see here. I don't really like those. Don't really like those either. I just won't do it anymore. No, really. I'm just joking. Let's do this one. 10, 54, 101, and 6. Sometimes I don't like this book because it just doesn't give you, good enough problems. But hey, such is life. Get over it. Should have gone back there and got some out of that group. All right, we'll do this one because we don't have a whole lot of time left. All right, 10, 54, 101, and 6. Real tough problem here. We got to put them in order. 6, 10, 54, and 101. Wow, 4 numbers. Really tough. Okay. Now, we add them up. 6, 4 is 10, plus 1 would be 11. Carry my 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 5 is 7, plus 0 is 7. And then we have 171. Okay. 171. Make sure that's right. 61, yeah, 171. 171, and how many numbers do I have? 4. So I'm going to divide 171 by 4. Okay? Let's see. So that means I'm going to do this right here. 4 into 17 goes 4 times. That would be 16, remainder 1. Bring down my 1. Okay, 4 into 11 goes twice. That would be 8, remainder 3. Add a decimal, bring down a 0. That would be 7. Be 28, remainder 2, bring down a 0. And that would be 5. That would be 20, and that's it. I'm done. So 42.75 is the mean. Okay, you can't have decimal numbers that are means. Okay? Now, the median. I had 6, 10, 54, 101. Remember, they must be in order. There's your median in between those 2 numbers. How many numbers do I have left of my yellow box? 1, right? How many to the right of my little yellow box? 1. So those are the middle numbers. So I'm going to take and add 10 plus 54. That's 64. I'm going to take 64 and divide it by 2. Why am I dividing it by 2? Because that's how you find the number that's in the middle. And 64 divided by 2 is what? 32. So my median is 32. What's the mode? The mode is what? No mode. Because there's not a number that is, they're all there the same amount of time. And then last is the range. The range would be equal to what? 101 minus 6, correct? And what is 101 minus 6? What? Nope. 95. So range is equal to 95. So there's your four answers. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? So, we're going to do 9.3, 1 through 8. Now, before you get all excited, because we only have 8 problems, there's 4 parts to each one of those 8 problems. So there's really 32 problems. Okay? But bottom line is I've already done 2 of them. So realistically, that means you've got 6 that you have to do on your own. Okay? Any questions? Alrighty. Not a whole lot of time left, so you probably don't have any time to start it. That is due tomorrow.